All right, I got something for you, Dom. Here, our favorite person, the great Dr. Umar Johnson, has a conversation with Nick Cannon about him having a whole bunch of kids and messing with white women. Hold on, here you go.
I'm irresponsible.
I never thought he'd come back like this, blasting.
Someone who has created many broken homes. I have 12 children.
Okay.
I'm sitting on your couch today, Doc. Heal me, help me.
The black woman, she suffered the most. And because I come from a black woman, I have a special obligation towards her. I think on some level, it can be insulting to our sisters. I consider it insulting to the community as a whole. And as someone who works in the school, I've had to entertain conversations with black girls. When you all make it, y'all always abandon the community in pursuit of your spouse. Okay.
I'm doing it for love.
Okay.
I'm not doing it to be right here to say I'm doing it for my community or any of that stuff. I'm doing it because I love this woman.
But is ignorance an excuse for irresponsibility?
Yes, I'm not thinking about what the community is going to think. What the community is going to do.
But do you have an obligation to the community, though?
But I didn't care what any of them said. There was no place I could get used to.
You married her because you loved her.
No, you can't talk black and sweet white.
Do you not feel any guilt at all for the fact you did not provide them with that wholesome example of showing them how much a black woman deserved to be loved on by not choosing one yourself?
Guilt doesn't mean shame. Guilt means accountability.
Okay.
Sitting on a psychologist's couch, yes, I feel guilty.
All right, Dom. I've seen all your faces. Go forth, my sister.
See, I didn't see the extended clip. That was an extended clip. And I just want to say this again. He's making too much sense, and I don't like that I have to agree with him. So you want to know the interesting thing about Nick Cannon?
Hey man, how has he made a heel turn, but the opposite way? Normally you are a heel and like you stay bad. He didn't flip it, and now
So I wonder what kind of. I'd be interested for Nick Cannon to see, like, or to talk to his therapist if he has one, because Nick Cannon, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of grew apart. Like I remember him saying something about them like having to go to Goodwill, and he would like. Had his own style and all these different things and whatnot. And so I wonder if, I thought he came from a two-parent household.
I think his mom or grandparents might have raised him.
I know his mama was around, but I can't remember. I thought he had like a two-parent household. But either way, we talk about
his grandfather raised him.
Okay. So grandfather.
Yeah, that's what we're saying here.
I thought his mama was involved in some kind of.
Yeah, his grandfather largely raised him. Lisa says here on Wikipedia.
Okay. So that's some sort of, it goes back, projection, deflection happening right now. Now we can say, oh, but Nick Cannon got one baby by a black girl. He has a baby by a black girl that she's been on the internet several times saying that he don't even be around, barely do nothing, barely come to see the baby. So,
oh wow.
So that comes back to he probably, when you saying something about the community, I don't care what the community think. Well, that's how you ended up with a black baby mother, because a lot of people was talking shit about you. So you did it because you felt like you owed people something, but we keep talking about this lack of community and how black people have lost a sense of community and how we really need each other. And instead of creating that community, we can create community starts at home. And then when things happen, you have the community, surrounding community, be able to step in and really lean, into that dynamic. I'm a product of community. You're a product of community.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and when we say community includes family, it includes your friends, it includes church people, whatever that looks like in that surrounding space, like around you, right? The people that have hands on you, that is community. And so for you not to create that, you're like, creating broken homes and broken communities, because like you got a baby with this girl, you got a baby with that girl, you got a baby with that girl. So you even talked about how you felt like it was a mistake and how you probably should have thought about this before you did it. And you can say, oh, you was being reactive to the lupus diagnosis. I'm not believing that, because that doesn't make you go stupid and go do stupid shit. So that lets me know right now that you had no intention on even trying to fight through your diagnosis. It was like you gave up, and then instead of like having, like I can see if you had a kid when one person, something happened and you passed or whatever. But that now impacts how many kids he got? 14 kids? 13?
Hold on. I was just on there. Hold on. He said 12, I think, on the video.
Yeah. So
12,
now,
12. Yeah, 12,
so
12
not only
kids.
does that impact 12 kids, I know some of them you got a couple of kids by, like the women, but that affects them, your family, and the surrounding people. So like that's a lot to put on to people. But people don't think long term like that. I don't think people wake up saying, okay, I'm gonna die and I'm gonna die with that. I don't think that's how it worked. But you knew that you were sick, where you have been hospitalized a lot, where you didn't know if you was gonna come to. You like, shit, let me shoot the club up. Listen, my mom died at 6 months and I'm 37. And how that still affects me. It's selfish, it's irresponsible. And I hate to say it, but you wasn't raised like that. Y'all gotta. But all year I have agreed with Dr. Umar, and I just don't like how this feels.
Look, Umar, if you could just really get this school open and let it be legitimate, it would go so far. You would jump in my top 5 black people. If I could trust you with this money and not think you grifting and not think that you are scamming on the low, and just get the school going and get it up and going where people can really be edified in it, man. Because what he was saying was
it was true, and everything that he said this year is true. And
what's been up with that, Dom? What is up with that?
I don't know. We're in the Twilight Zone. With sidebar, I found out that the Twilight Zone was created because the writer, the creator of it, wanted to do like a movie or a story in regards to Emmett Till. And then everybody, all the networks, all of that shut it down. And so from there, he was like, how can I tell these different stories about weird, like certain things happening? And that's how he created the Twilight Zone.
Oh, wow. So it came from Emmett Till. Did not know that.
Yeah. But
Umar.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying you have to be an actual therapist, because Iyanla Vanzant is not a therapist. She's not a psychologist. She has people talking to holes in the mud, like in the dirt, speaking to that hole.
I mean, not all people just have degrees,
Yeah, I think it's just like, I think he's trying to really turn, like, okay, I gotta kind of stop pandering a little bit, and now that I think he's found his medium, kind of start with Umar.
He gotta get that school open, though, Dom. Like, he gotta get that school open. Like, that's imperative.
Yeah,
we're going on like year 7 or 8 or 9 or something. This school ain't open yet.
And I'm surprised he hasn't tried to partner with a charter school, as easy as it is to get a charter school.
Well, he want to do it all himself. Like, I know he had an issue with the shout out to Lord Jamar of Grand Nubian, and he was like I think his father or father-in-law started 2 schools in New York. He's like, hey, I want to hook you up with my dad. And Umar was kind of like barking at him like, no, I don't need no help and blah, blah, blah. And it was kind of contentious.
Umar, you need
so that's
help.
what fed into the people's idea that this is a grift or a scam, because it's like a lot of people are trying to help him, but he like is resistant to all these different.
Because he just like, but see, there go the ego thing, because he want to be able to say, I did this on my own. Doing it on my own still does not mean that you cannot take assistance, take a meeting with somebody, y'all get a line on one accord, and then go from there.
Or they don't want assistance to be play devil's advocate because now I don't want nobody up in my books because I be doing funny shit with the money. I'm just saying.
He doesn't strike me as the type that indulges in Prada and Bentleys and Murcielagos.
He also feel like somebody that deals with QuickBooks either.
Hey y'all, if you like what you see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to hit that button right there. It'll take you to more clips, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast. See you back next time.